I think this is episode 5 or maybe 6 or 4 of Lounge Talk, but we're back. We're going to recap a wild week in sports, a fun week in the Discord. But we got to start. We're all hungover from an Eagles loss. We got our ass whooped by the Cowboys.
Eagles stink.
The Eagles could easily be 6-7. They're 10-3?
Yeah.
They haven't played one complete game all year, and they're still 10-3. I'm happy where we're at, but like we're not going to beat the good teams playing like this.
I'm not happy at all where we're at.
I mean, we're still 10-3. Like
I understand that, and that's fine. And again, I'd rather be 10-3.
Yeah, I'd rather be 10-3, 6-7
than 6-7. But at the end of the day, yeah, we beat some good teams, but what happened these last 2 weeks and how we played and what we're missing and the way we're losing these games against the top teams in the NFC, like we're not that franchise. Like we don't want to just get into the playoffs and be happy about that, right? Like I can't sit here and confidently say like if we see one of those two teams in the playoffs that we have a good chance.
Yeah, I mean, I think
at the link or not.
I think the Eagles are struggling. Both coordinators are dog shit. Let's just call it what it is. Like people that are saying, "Oh, you're 10-3. Brian Johnson's done a fine job." You're not watching the game. Like they don't win. They don't prove that they're the better team ever during the game, ever.
It's a lot of long developing plays. Hurts is keeping the ball too long. They're running with Hurts, I think, a little bit too much.
When's the last time DeAndre Swift had 20 carries?
Yep. The run game's kind of non-existent.
Early in the season, he's getting 20, 22 carries. He's racking up 100 yards. I don't know the last time he had 20 carries. Are they trying to keep him fresh for a postseason? Maybe, but like you need to focus on running the ball. The worst thing, my biggest pet peeve in Philadelphia sports is a 2nd and 9 run. Like, we're so far behind the sticks, we're going to run it 3 yards and give ourselves 3rd and 6 almost automatically. Run on 1st down.
Yeah. No, listen, I again, the running game needs to be part of the game plan moving forward. Like I said, we have weapons, but Hurts is holding on to the ball too long. And again, that could be Hurts' issue. But I also think a lot of that falls on play calling, too.
Yeah, I don't think they're tailoring any of the plays towards Jalen Hurts' strength anymore. Yeah. Like, I think it's just, like, drop back, long developing plays, and just, like, he's got no pressure. Guys, like, you know, I don't think the offensive line looks too sharp. I hate to say it. Like, we're supposed to have this dominant offensive line. I don't think they look too sharp.
Yeah.
But it starts with running the ball, man. You got to establish a run. Establish a run, it opens everything up, and we just don't do that. I mean, you look at the Bills game, 3 straight throwaways to start the game. Like, run the ball.
Yeah.
You set yourself up in a poor position, but
yeah, it's tough. I mean, this deep into the season, you thought and you'd hope that they would start catching stride, and
it's horrible. We're still minus 350 to win the division, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, because we play the Giants twice, we have the Cardinals.
Yeah,
and then who's the other team we play?
The Giants twice, the Cardinals, and someone sweet, but
we have the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that's not.
No, I mean, if Geno doesn't play, but still, you can't take them lightly.
No, DK Metcalf kills us. So, he kills us. He talks a lot of shit too. I mean, if you look at the Eagles' schedule in the beginning of the year, we had a gauntlet 6-game stretch where, like, you know, you could have went 0-6, you could have went 1-5, 3-3, we went 4-2.
That's the only thing, like, looking at it from outside of what just took place these last 2 weeks. They did still beat the Bills, Chiefs, Dolphins, right?
And the Cowboys.
And they beat the Cowboys. Yeah, that game. I mean,
so if the
so that's the only thing that gives me a little bit.
If the 49ers game was in the middle of this stretch and the Cowboys game was at the end, and there were games in between where we won, we wouldn't be panicking.
I agree with that. That's a fair statement.
You put on Sports Talk Radio this morning, like they're literally like fire Sirianni. I'm like, dude, what? Like we're 10-3. We just came off with the Super Bowl last year. You want to fire Sirianni? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
I get it. People don't like Sirianni, and I understand why. Because like he's the kind of guy that you like him if you got him. You're on the other team, like, and he talks a lot of shit. Like, I get it. You don't like him.
It's more so this for me. It's like I don't care that we lost, right? Dallas, it's hard to win in Dallas. And 49ers are probably the best team in football. It's just the way we lost.
Yeah. We haven't scored an offensive touchdown, I think, in 2 weeks.
Bro, the opposing teams, they're going 5 possessions in a row scoring points.
Yeah,
it's
our defense is sweet.
If we were hanging around in games and it was close and we lose, okay, but it's just not pretty
100%,
right now. It's sad to see.
We really need to win the division because it sucks that it won't come through the link if the 49ers are the 1 seed, but any home playoff game we get, I'll take us.
100%.
Even if it's the Cowboys at home, like I'll take us. It's a different atmosphere, and let's just call a spade a spade. The Cowboys are probably going to cowboy at some point.
Yeah.
They will.
Until they prove otherwise.
So that was probably the game of the week for for people to talk about, but we got another thing to talk about in the NFL. I mean, that Chiefs-Bills game was crazy.
Crazy.
I'm a little disappointed in Patrick Mahomes, the way he's handling himself.
Yeah, it was bad.
Because it's not really like him to be cursing after the game about an officiating call. Like, first of all, he was way off sides.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid they lose a few games, right?
Yeah,
like he's being a crybaby, man. I mean, and for him to say like that BS about like it taken away from Kelsey's legacy, like come on, man. Like grow up. You have $500 million in the bank. You have a couple Super Bowls. Like there's
I don't think
there's nothing you should be crying
I mean,
about.
I like that he's mad about losing, after this point at this point in his career, and that play was so sick. I want to see more of that.
It was an awesome
I want to
play.
see more of that in the NFL.
It was an amazing play.
A guy's wide open, like throw it back to him and he's going to score a touchdown. Like that was so cool. And like Travis Kelce, you're the man for even doing that.
I agree.
But I just don't like the way Mahomes is carrying himself. Like after the game, saying that to Josh Allen, like Josh Allen cares. Like Josh Allen's like, dude, I couldn't give two shits.
Now again, I mean, calling offensive offsides. Like, yeah, you don't see that. You don't see that a lot. But at the end of the day, I mean, he was
offsides.
It was a penalty for me. Like they had at least 3 quarters to score enough points, right?
The Bills didn't score all game after the first quarter.
Exactly. So like, I have no time for that kind of stuff.
The Chiefs and the Eagles, man, the Super Bowl teams from last year, they just don't look the same. I don't know if it's a hangover. I don't know if they lost players. Like for the Eagles, I'll say they let a lot of good players walk and give a lot of money to players coming back that it's not like looking in our favor. Like Epps on the Raiders, he was hitting hard yesterday. We let him walk. Hargrave to the 49ers. We gave Bradbury all this money. We gave, I love Howie, but I don't think that these moves have come back to really do us anything good.
Teams just they just exploit the middle of the field.
Yeah, we have no linebackers.
Our linebackers can't cover. Our
two positions.
Safeties are not
Two
playing
positions
well.
the Eagles never focus on: linebackers and running back.
Yeah,
they'll build everywhere else. They'll never just get dogs at both positions.
Yeah,
they're going to be like, oh, we can get away doing the least here, and it's showing right now that it's not working.
Right.
Kaiser White, like he's playing well for the well, I don't know if he's still playing well, but for the Cardinals, we let him walk.
He's a beast. He's a very, very solid linebacker.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, they're struggling at wide receiver. Their defense is okay. Mahomes just doesn't have any playmakers right now, and he still has a winning record.
Yeah.
So, that's the NFL in the week that all I really want to talk about. This guy's favorite person in the world, Bron, got another ring. Got another ring this weekend.
5 chips, baby.
5 chips, this guy. I mean, listen, like, you look at the NBA in-season tournament, I think it was a success. Is it telling that, like, you think in the playoffs the Lakers and the Pacers can both get to the finals, you think? Or you think it's just because it was one and done?
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far. Do I think the Lakers can make it to the finals? Yeah, I think they have a great team. I think they're deep. Obviously, health. Obviously, is always going to play a huge factor with AD and Bron. The Pacers, I mean, who knows? I don't think the East is that.
Are the Pacers better than the Sixers?
Are the Pacers better than the Sixers? I'm not going to go that far yet. If someone thinks that, I won't necessarily say I disagree.
I think it's a very fair debate.
But I would still say the Sixers are probably a better team.
Me too. But I'm impressed with the Pacers. Like, Tyrese Halliburton's great, but my favorite player on the Pacers is Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown.
He's just a winner.
He's a dog, man. He's a guy you want on your team.
Give me 10 Bruce Browns on my team. Like, they're just going to go all out. They're going to play hard. They'll make big shots. I mean, he didn't really play that well in terms of scoring, but he just makes an impact on the game with rebounding, defense, playmaking sometimes. He's great.
Now, Halliburton, on the other hand, obviously he's been playing phenomenal. I'm taking nothing away from him. But what the Lakers did to him is how you stop that. Yeah. He blitzed the pick and roll with length, right? He doesn't get the shot off that quick. He likes to come off that pick and roll, create, either do the step back or obviously slide it. But they were blitzing it.
Yeah, they were going at it.
They forced a lot of turnovers, and they just played better ball.
I mean, when's the last time AD had 40 points?
Yeah, I mean, he's capable of doing that every night, though. Dude. That's the thing. That's the thing with the Lakers. Like, those star players, it seems like they turn it on and off a lot.
Yeah. I saw the Lakers play in person, and they also had 44, but I was very impressed with Austin Reeves. I didn't know he was, that quick. He's quick. Yeah. I didn't know he was that quick until I saw him in person. I kind of thought his game was, finessing, cutting, can make a 3. Nah. He's gritty.
He
and
puts that thing on a rope too. Like he's got
Bro,
people skating out there
bro,
sometimes.
he can get to the rack.
He can ball, man.
I can't believe my dad even texted me. He's like, "Yo, Reeves is pretty good." I'm like, "Dad, where you been, bro?
Right.
Where you been, bro? Austin Reeves is tough." People were talking mad shit early in the season on Austin Reeves because he got that big contract and he wasn't performing well. He's coming off the bench, but
And it's, I mean,
it's
and the
rightful.
criticism was justified.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
When
for
someone
sure.
gets paid, you know what I mean. You got to
And
come
you
out and
didn't have
perform.
a
It is what
he
it
didn't
is.
have a big scope of work on Austin Reeves, but I like Austin Reeves' game.
So do I.
I like Austin Reeves' game a
do I.
lot, and I think Bron loves Austin Reeves too.
I like their team.
So here's a question for you. It's a good debate for everyone out there. AD or Joel Embiid? Who you taking?
AD or Joe?
AD or Joe? I'm not talking just regular season, postseason. I'm talking you need a win. You need a dub. Who you taking?
I need so one game.
One game, gun to your head. You need a dub.
I'm taking Anthony Davis.
Why?
If I need one game, for me, like I said, I think they score the ball the same. Obviously the rebounding, they're both very good rebounding. I think Anthony Davis, his length and his speed, and on the defensive side of the ball, I think he gives you a little bit more than Joe does. So that's where I would give the edge. If I need one game to win.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, one game to win. I don't think you can go wrong with his answer.
Neither do I.
I think Anthony Davis could bring it every night. If he brought Joel Embiid to me brings it every night. Like tonight he's probably gonna score 40 points. His line set at 34. It's the regular season though; it doesn't matter as much. Where like 80, like he's still scoring like 20 points some games, and I'm like, dude, what is good with this guy? Like you should be dominating. Like you could easily be the MVP.
What I just saw from him in that in-season game is why I would take him for one game. Now, if I need a player for the entire season,
okay,
I'm going Embiid.
You're not playing the Pacers now, and you're playing the
I don't
Nuggets.
care. I don't care.
You're playing the Nuggets.
I don't care who the opponent is. I'm taking. If I need to win one game, I'm gonna go Anthony Davis.
All right, I'll go Joel Embiid
personal
just for the
opinion.
fact that I know I know what kind of effort I'm getting from him every night. He's gonna give you 25 and 10 no matter what.
Yeah, but we also seen in the playoffs though too him become non-existent as well. So like,
Well, that's the thing. We've seen him like you saw that with Anthony Davis almost against the Nuggets too.
yeah,
Like a big body like Jokic was an answer for him.
Davis been there though, right?
Yeah,
I think that factors in a little bit.
He's been there, bro. That nut ass fucking bubble tournament.
Don't do
Bro,
that.
he's been
Don't
there.
do that.
Where else has he
Don't
been
do
there?
that. Wait, no.
When else has he been there?
Don't do that. You're saying that the bubble championship it just doesn't mean nothing.
I just like don't really care about the bubble championship. He played Tyler Hero in the fucking Miami Heat.
Whose fault is that?
Half the people didn't care in the bubble.
Bro, that's not true at all. Every player has come out and said like it was probably harder to win in the bubble. I'm not saying
Half
that.
the guys said they didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
that.
don't know. I think that's BS.
But when else has he been besides the bubble? When else has he been there?
I agree with you. I'm not.
All right, so I don't think you saying he's been there is a valid argument. He's been there. Like Joel Embiid hasn't been. He hasn't been to the Eastern Conference Finals.
He hasn't gotten over that hump. And when it came
but
to
he's
get
only
over
got there
that
once, and it was the bubble.
Oh, how many times have the Sixers lost in the second round of the playoffs?
I agree.
How many times has Joel been non-existent in those series?
I agree.
More often than AD has been non-existent. Yes?
Yeah, but saying AD's been there, Joel hasn't.
Case in point.
But
one for Frank.
saying AD's been there and Joel hasn't is like it's not valid to me. He was there in the bubble, and that's really it.
All right.
When else has he been there?
Okay.
When else has he been there? He hasn't.
Listen, I mean we're picking a
He
sides
hasn't.
here.
All right, we'll move on. We'll move on.
Shout out Embiid though. I love Embiid.
Yeah, I love him. He's been a complete loser in the playoffs. I won't disagree there, but 2 Monday Night Football games, which I kind of liked. What time do they start? You know,
They're both on at 8.
They're both on at 8. That's kind of dumb. Like NFL, put a game on at 6 for me at least, so I could have.
Well,
some,
they're both East Coast games.
Put a game on at 6 for me. West Coast, they're at work at 3 p.m. gambling on sports.
One's at the Meadowlands, so like that one couldn't be early because I guess like all the traffic.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
traffic's probably
That would be
crazy. Yeah,
terrible.
put that one late.
But
Where's the
Miami,
other-
I mean,
Miami,
they don't
bro.
do nothing down in Florida. They don't even work down there.
Yeah, they don't work. They're chilling. They got a football game tonight, but I'm interested to see if Tyreek Hill just continues this like crazy stretch.
Yeah, I'm not one to really like bet chalk, but like I mean,
like
what's his over under for yards? 108.5.
Yeah, it's like not even fun. Like,
I'll probably bet over on that.
I mean, I wouldn't bet under. I mean, this dude does it every week.
Exactly.
Like, if you're betting Tyreek Hill under, you must not like to have fun in life because who wants to root against the
He
best
needs
player
a
in the
foot
NFL?
of separation, and he's going for 40 yards. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, One of the dogs
Be
probably wins
special, man.
tonight. One of the dogs probably wins.
I'm personally going to take the Giants plus 6.5.
You're taking Tommy DeVito. You're taking the Italian Stallion.
I am going to take the points. I think I don't know. The Packers are riding high. I just think. I mean, look across the NFL this week.
They are riding high.
A lot of underdogs. You know what I mean? Have covered. I just think this is probably one of those games where the Giants can keep it inside of that number. Now the other game, 13.5. I'm not going to touch. I just don't.
No,
I mean,
I'm not touching that.
I don't
either.
like that. I'll take some props in that game, but I'll be on the Packers plus or the Giants. Plus
I haven't looked
6.5.
yet, but I mean it's a huge NBA slate too. So like I swear, like I hate the big NBA slates.
They're tough. It's hard to
just so
find
many
value,
options.
and there's a lot of blowouts.
So
in
many
the NBA.
options. You know, 2 or 3 games are going to be blowouts. Like it's just really hard to get a good feel for these big slates. I love like 5 or 6 game slates, but with the NBA in-season tournament, it's kind of been screwing everyone up because there's 1 game,
Yeah.
then 13 games, then no games. Now we're back to 13 games.
Yeah.
Just a lot. Then 2 NFL games. Just like setting you up for a disaster. It's kind of like you got to manage your bankroll.
100%.
Speaking of managing bankroll, my bets have been not the hottest the last 2 weeks. It's been a tough 2-week stretch for me personally, but
Yeah, I mean it's
shoot or shoot. I mean, listen, when your bets
gambling,
aren't
man.
winning, you're not going to win all your bets. You're not going to have the good months every month. You're not going to have, I always tell people you can't let a 2-week stretch define, your betting. Even a month. You can't let 1 month define like your year of betting. Like obviously it's been a bad 2 weeks for me.
yeah. And again, I probably sound like a broken record. I say it all the time. I text and call you all the time. It's like there's so many plays that get thrown out, and like I don't have the money to tail every single one. So
Yeah, I mean I don't tell every single
I
one.
pick and choose spots.
And choose too.
And that's been working better for me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll take something I like from each person and do it that way.
Yeah, it's just been tough. It's been tough because, like I said, we've been one off a lot. Like last night, either Dallas Goedert, Kenneth Gainwell, or DeAndre Swift score, and I'm hitting something fat.
Yeah.
Eagles don't score 1 touchdown.
There's nothing you can do
They don't
about
score
that.
an offensive touchdown. Like, am I mad at myself? Not really. I feel like they were the right reads. It's just
There's no.
they didn't score.
If you would have told me before the game the Eagles don't score offensive touchdown, I would have told you you're nuts. So it is what it is.
52-point total. You're telling me the Eagles don't score 1 touchdown? I mean, I was mad.
You're not the only one that
Yeah.
lost money last night.
Bro, and I
on
get
that
mad.
game,
I get mad.
prop-wise.
I get
So,
mad when I go in the chat and I see someone like chirping about like, how'd you pick this guy to? Bro, nobody scored on the
Nobody
Eagles.
scored.
What do you mean? How'd I pick Dallas Goedert to score, or how'd I pick DeAndre Swift to score? I'd be mad if like the Eagles had 3 touchdown scores and none of them scored. They didn't have one. Just like really frustrating, and it's kind of just been the name of the game for the last 2 weeks for me. Just one off everything.
Yeah.
Can't change it.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna happen, man. You just gotta keep a level head and just keep
Just manage the
keep pushing,
bankroll.
man.
It's all good. People don't realize like when it's going well, it's great and like everyone's happy. But the second it goes bad, you get haters.
It's highs and lows.
Yeah,
man.
it's all good. Like obviously,
Until you
like,
learn how to like, and it's so hard. And again, I only talk about it because I went through it. Like it's. Well, you got to take the emotions out of it, and you just gotta try to be smart about things, man. It's tough, but you know what I mean. It is what it is.
yeah. So I mean, look, I'm looking forward to this week of getting back in a regular schedule for the NBA.
Yeah.
College basketball has been pretty hard this year. Not gonna lie. Like if me and you are both struggling,
The start of it, yeah. Like these games, like this weekend was better, but like last week was for me at least. College basketball was tough. Like that's why I like conference play. I think it's a little bit easier
yeah.
to predict those matchups and kind of dive into numbers and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
I lost on.
a lot of parity though. I think it's up in the air. Like there's
Yeah.
not really a lot of clear cut favorites.
Nah,
I mean, the
not
way
at all.
Arizona's playing, they're the clear #1 team in the country.
Yeah, I don't.
other
think there's
than
a clear
that-
#1 team, but
You got big teams losing to mid majors early.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's fun.
It's going to be one of those years, which
just
makes college basketball.
yeah,
great,
it makes it great, but it makes it hard to bet on.
For
Like
sure.
really hard to bet on.
100%.
I've never struggled this much coming out the gate, but I'm sure I'll find stride. Always do. And then once you're winning, no one remembers the times where it's like not going well. It's all about you're the GOAT. Like happens every time. It's literally a rinse and repeat.
That's it.
Rinse and repeat.
And again, with you guys in this Discord, that's the one thing you guys don't ever shy away from. Like when you guys lose bets, you're the first one to say that was a bad
Yeah.
pick. Or
I just hate when people come. There's a certain line you can cross. Like you want to tell me I stink all good.
All good.
You want to start getting disrespectful? Listen, I'll kick you out the court so fast.
No
Like
time
it's all
for
good.
it. Yeah.
It's all if you're not going to disrespect.
Yeah.
It's not only me, but my team. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if someone's struggling and you're just making it worse, I'm gonna just kick you out of the court. Like I don't care.
Yeah, and that's just everyday life shit. Like
Yeah.
obviously they're paying for a subscription. You're supposed to have results. That's fine. You lose and yeah, you should get some criticism. But the
Yeah,
second
I'll
you
take
start
it.
being disrespectful, it's like, what are we doing? We're not having fun anymore at that point.
Yeah, like it's more than losing bets now. Like yo, like shut up.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and stand for that. Like I don't care.
100%.
I mean, I do care, but you know, if someone like for me, I don't really look in the chats that much when I'm losing because I know what's gonna be said. But like when I do, and you could say like Larry hasn't hit and blah 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 blah. The second you start taking it to another level, that's where the line's drawn for me.
Yeah.
And that's when I pop in. I'm like, yo, I would always tell motherfuckers shut the fuck up the other day. It is what it is.
It is what it is right. What are you gonna do?
Your team's down 6. Texas A&M Commerce.
Yeah, well,
Would you take him at?
2.5.
I might take him live plus 6.5.
All right.
But I like North Carolina early, so it means that.
Yeah, take what you like.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the big move in the MLB?
Ohtani to the Dodgers.
Unbelievable.
I hate the
man.
Dodgers, man. I literally hate the Dodgers.
It sucks because like I love Mookie Betts, I love Freddie Freeman, but like I hate the Dodgers.
I mean, that's like an all-star team. It's just in baseball, you could spend all that money and not win. And to me, it's just like not worth it.
100%. I think if anyone's worth that much money, obviously, I think it's a guy like Ohtani. Obviously, with his injury, right, he's not going to be pitching for a while, so that obviously hurts. But
If I were
to
Ohtani,
put him in that lineup is
yeah,
crazy.
If I were Ohtani, I would simply. Oh, it's outside. We have construction going on outside, guys, so it's like it's a little tough right now. They're just throwing some. Throwing some pipe down, but that's a crazy pause.
Yeah, it's
But you like that one? But with Ohtani, like if I was Ohtani, I would strictly hit and be a closer. Like you're a great starting pitcher, but you're probably going to get hurt. You're not going to be able to hit then. Just be a dominant closer. Why not? You could pitch every day.
well. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, okay, like can he though? Like, would that be dangerous? Like if he's pitching every single day like that?
I mean,
I don't
not
know.
every
Like I'm
day.
asking the question.
If I were him,
right?
if I were him, I would just be the best hitter and the best closer and forget starting pitching. Even though he's an amazing starting pitcher, like now he can't pitch for a year.
Yeah.
He could hit, can't play the field, right?
I'm trying to do the math in my head. Like obviously, like if you're a starter for the whole season, like how many innings you pitch, and then how many innings does a closer
It's probably
pitch?
like 200 innings.
How many innings do you think a closer pitches?
60.
Yeah.
Depends, like if they go 2 innings.
Yeah. So it's almost it's.
I just would like lock in on being the best closer personally. Like if I were him, I mean, he's not gonna
Until he's able to so he's able to be a starting pitcher
Not
again,
even,
or,
like,
or
why-
for,
why
you're saying the
would-
rest of his career.
Why worry about being a starting pitcher? You're gonna be the best hitter.
Yeah, I just think he's too good at starting pitching. To
I know,
like,
I know, it is
like
tough.
like an organization's not going to let him do that. I feel
Yeah,
like just because how good he is.
700 million is really for him is like 350 million for the best hitter and the best pitcher
Yeah,
in the one. So that's why I don't
Like
think
I said,
it's like
he's
that
worth-
ridiculous.
he's worth every bit of that money.
Like Bryce Harper's got a $330 million deal. I think like he's a great hitter. Ohtani got that as a hitter, and as a pitcher, he got a little more.
yeah,
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
He got 2 and 1, but if I were him, I'd just be the best pitcher I can be. I mean, the best closer.
yeah.
It kind of sucks though for like parity in the MLB. Like you just let the Dodgers. That's why I hate LA. Everyone wants to go to LA all the time. Yeah, the weather's nice. You're gonna get a lot of money, but you just are a loser in my opinion for picking LA. Oh, I want to go play for the Lakers. I want to play with Bron. Oh, I want to go to the Dodgers. I want to play for the best team.
He wants to win.
There's I would never want to
Like look at the teams that were in the mix, right? It was the Blue Jays.
I mean, I would have never went to the Blue Jays.
Exactly, right? So you're taking the Dodgers over.
I would
over
have went to the
over Blue
Mariners
Jays.
if I was him.
Mariners. That's an exciting one. But if I had to pick Dodgers or Mariners, I'm probably going to an organization that's
LA.
been there. And
I mean, I get it. You want to live on the beach, like cool.
I don't really think for him. I don't think it really has a lot to do with being in LA. Now that
Yeah.
could have been pushed by like his agent. Like it might be better for your notoriety and all
Well,
that.
it's probably
all
better
that
for
stuff,
like
but
yeah.
I
it's
just think
probably
he
better.
chose the best team and where he think he would
It's
be
just
able to
like,
win.
dude, how do you get that team out? Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman,
don't know.
Ohtani.
I don't know.
Like and they got great pitching.
Phillies better make some moves though. That's
Yeah,
all
I
I'm
mean, if
saying.
you're the Phillies, you got to figure it out. Well, they got Jock Peterson, which is so weird.
Yeah, I mean, he's whatever to me.
I kind of miss baseball. Like some nights I just like lay there in bed after I lost all my bets in NBA or NFL. I'm like, damn. Remember when it was just so much like less going on? I would just bet like 3 MLB teams a night and a couple guys hit home run and that was it. It's so dry. But with the MLB and the NFL or the NFL and the NBA, it's just like so much every night.
So much going on.
Think about those boring summer nights where like I just need 8 runs scored.
Yeah.
All right, I need 4. I need each team to score 4 runs in the over hits.
Yeah, that's the best.
And it's so little amount of like runs compared to like points in the NBA where you have like an over 220 and they each got to score 110. I don't think like that. In the MLB, I'm like, all right, each team score 3 runs or 4 runs and the over hit.
Yeah, that's so true.
And then like you're thinking about guys to hit a
summer.
home run, and you know a guy's gonna hit 20 home runs a year, and you get him right on one of those 20 nights.
Yeah,
it's so funny to think about.
Yeah, I'm ready for bowl season, man. I want these football games.
Bowl season's
to
gonna
start.
be fun because it's all day, in the randomest times. Of, like I'm at
so
work.
it's so much fun.
I'm at work. Like I'm just gonna turn on college football, and then it's over for 7 months.
Right,
dude.
It's the best.
I'm gonna miss college football. I had a great college football.
Toledo's playing NC State at 1:00.
1:00. Like what? And people are like, "What do you know about Toledo?" I'm like, honestly,
the Cheez-It Bowl.
Honestly, nothing. It's just on. So I'm gonna bet on it.
Right.
But then you
got to watch though too, because like with the bowl games and
if
there's a wrench in it, like obviously guys sit and someone that enters the transfer portal is not going to play.
I know
like,
that's
and all
fun
that
though.
stuff.
If you get like a senior driven team that's playing a team with guys, a bunch of guys transferring and they're big dogs and they got no motivation, those are fun.
Those are the
those are the ones to snipe. But yeah, I'm excited. And then you think about like it's the end of college football season, and you think about wow, how fun was it like the beginning of college football season? We were at my bachelor party week 1.
The best, dude.
It's just like it's a great time of the year. Like summer's coming to an end. It's still warm out. You're playing football. You're watching football.
we were on the lake in Lake George, and I'm trying to remember the game. I think we needed Michigan to cover, right?
They didn't cover. They got backdoored.
Yeah,
that was the start of just pain, man. I was like, damn, I'm about to hit week 1. They got backdoored, but that was like everyone thought Colorado was real because they whooped TCU. Meanwhile, TCU was dog shit.
Yeah,
you had me betting TCU every week, bro.
Yeah,
they sucked.
I did?
Yeah, you were like, remember at Mark's wedding or Fish's wedding, you were like, yo, take TCU +6. They got fucking dog walk.
I did have, I mean, I take them every week, though. But yeah, that one,
they lost by like
that
40,
is one that
bro.
lost for sure.
It was by 40, bro. We're at this wedding.
Funny.
We're at this wedding and we're dancing. I'm just looking at this guy like, yo, I'm dancing with my wife all happy, but in the back of my mind, I'm looking at Frank like, why the fuck this guy make me take TCU?
That wasn't the big one, though. Where you lost because Wyoming beat
that was my wedding, bro.
Fresno State.
That was my wedding, bro. I wasn't
we're
thinking
talking about Mark's wedding. Oh, yeah. I'm getting
my mom's calling me.
Getting the weddings confused.
Yeah, a lot of weddings. Happy to be done with wedding season. For myself and others, kind of just weddings in the fall with college football just make it like throw a wrinkle in it too.
Yeah, it's tough.
You can't just be watching all day.
It's an all-day thing.
That's why when you have free weekends in the fall, it's like, all right, everyone leave me alone.
Yeah.
Let me lock myself in a room and watch college football with Frank.
Like to this day, like I'll take a college football Saturday over an NFL Sunday any day.
Yeah, I mean, we said it a bunch of times, but
comparable.
These college football Saturdays have been great. We've had so much more fun than the NFL Sundays.
So much fun.
And it's funny because as a kid, you're like, wow, I love this. Like fantasy football, like I can win money in the NFL. NFL's sharp. It's hard to win money in the NFL.
Speaking of fantasy football, I haven't done fantasy football in like five years. I can't. I have no interest in it.
You know, I have one league now.
It's all luck.
I have one league now with my boys from high school, and you want to win that one just because, like, I don't talk to them much. So,
yeah,
you know, I want to still win that one.
That's fun.
$200 ahead, so like, you want to win, but
yeah, it's not even about the money at that point.
Yeah,
Like
I just want to win.
It's just bragging rights and just
yeah, but
over 'em.
I'm over fantasy football. I think gambling made me become over fantasy football.
100%.
But that also started my love for gambling when I won my first fantasy football championship in like 10th grade. I'm like, yo, I know football like back of my hand, bro. Fred Jackson, Calvin Johnson.
They had the gambling bug in 10th
Bro,
grade.
I was sitting in my basement. I didn't even have Red Zone wasn't even a thing yet. I would listen to the games on NFL Network because they would play like the different radios when guys scored. Calvin Johnson. That was the Calvin Johnson year. Fred Jackson on the Bills. Stevie Johnson on the Bills. Bro, my team was stacked.
Yeah,
I think my quarterback was
Stevie Johnson. That's a pull right there,
bro. Stevie Johnson, Fred Jackson, Calvin Johnson, Gronk. My team was stacked.
You know who I always liked
Steve
too?
Smith on the Panthers.
I always drafted oh my God, the wide receiver. What's his name? He played for the Steelers and Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders.
He was tough.
I would always draft him.
Emmanuel Sanders was tough.
Him.
But my fantasy football team, I was in 10th grade, I think. Or no, I was a senior in high school. Calvin Johnson that was a game he would have.
He was
every
the guy.
touchdown. Fred Jackson came out of nowhere. Matt Forte. My team was so good.
Matt Forte had a lot of good fantasy
my team was so good. I traded I traded Steve Smith on the Panthers for Tom Brady. Just have a quarterback pair him with Gronk, my tight end, bro. I took all my high school boys. It was $20 at the time, but I won $200, and I was like, "Yo, this is it."
Yeah.
I like gambling on sports.
It's up.
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, you want to go out to dinner? We can go out to dinner. I got
Oh my
money."
God.
Yeah, that 200's long gone.
That's funny.
That's the start of it, though. The fantasy football. That team was so
Yeah,
good.
the middle school, high school fantasy football.
Who was the
days,
quarterback
that's
for
when it
those
was
that
fun.
Bills team?
For that Bills team, what year was it?
Come on, 2012 or 2011. Because I graduated high school in 2012.
Fitz wasn't there yet, right?
Yeah,
he was
Fitz-
there.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, Fitz.
They finally
They had a few quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So I was trying to think.
They
So was
finally beat the
Fitzpatrick.
Patriots. They finally beat the Patriots.
Did he get drafted there? Was that his
Dude,
start?
I don't know where he got. He probably got drafted somewhere.
I'm curious if that
super
was his
random.
first team.
But dude,
Played
that,
on a lot of teams.
That Bills team, even in Madden, that Bills team was great.
Yeah.
And so were the Bears. Brandon Marshall, Matt Forte, Jay Cutler. Like,
Yeah.
I think Greg Olson might have been.
You know
the
what's
tight end.
crazy though? Like,
Alshon Jeffrey on the Bears too.
and I heard this obviously from Brandon Marshall, the podcast
Mm-hmm.
he does, but he's never played in a playoff game.
He's
Isn't
a
that-
loser.
Isn't that wild?
He was good. He was a loser.
Like to never like because they've always had decent teams. They were all I guess floated always around floating, getting into the playoffs. But Brandon Marshall, you look at his career, he's a good receiver.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
never played in a playoff game. It's wild.
That's probably the Jay Cutler effect.
Yeah,
And then he was
he's
on
a
the Broncos.
gunslinger.
Who do you have on? Oh, yeah, Jay Cutler on the Broncos. He played with Jay Cutler his whole career pretty
Yeah,
much.
and he had Grossman too, right?
I don't know if he had Grossman
Didn't he have Grossman?
on the Bears.
Yeah, no,
I don't think it was Grossman. I don't know. I forget. But
could be wrong.
that Bears team was Alshon, Brandon Marshall, Matt Forte.
Yeah,
I think Greg Olson.
he had another QB on the Broncos though too, and I'm trying to remember who it was.
It wasn't Jake Palmer. No, it wasn't Jake Palmer.
No,
I forget. Damn.
that's gonna bother me.
Yeah, it's gonna bother me too.
Orton?
What are some other?
Orton?
Oh, Kyle Orton.
Yeah, I was getting
Yeah,
Grossman
Kyle
and Orton mixed
Kyle
up. That's
Orton.
who
Yeah,
it was.
Kyle
He had Kyle Orton. He had long hair, right?
Yeah, Kyle Orton was.
Wore
Kyle Orton was
8,
kinda
I think.
bad.
I think he wore number 8,
Yeah,
just like
he-
Grossman did.
He didn't have
Yeah.
Tebow. Tebow had Demaryius Thomas. Because that was when Peyton Manning came in after.
Yeah, that slant that he took to the crib.
That was my birthday.
They beat the
That was my
Steelers,
18th
I think, in
birthday.
the playoff,
That
right?
was my January 8th. January 8th.
That's wild.
I was out to dinner with all my friends, my family, and they knew I loved Tim Tebow. And so the game was on, and like we're sitting around the hibachi thing, and like all of a sudden you see Demaryius break one free, and we're all going crazy.
Shout out to Marius Thomas, man.
Yeah, RIP. Forgot about
Jeez.
that.
He was another one that in fantasy, like you'd want on your team.
Julius Thomas, Demaryius Thomas. You know,
Oh yeah, those Peyton years. That was
Yeah,
early
Wes
college. for
Welker.
me. That was late high school, early college for me.
dude, Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders, Wes Welker, Julius Thomas, Demaryius Thomas,
Oh, they had Decker too.
Eric Decker. Shout out Jesse. Or no, what's his wife's name?
I don't know.
Jesse James Decker, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shout out her, bro. We like her.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Looking back on the NFL teams, like I texted in the group this morning, like, you ever think about how good Andrew Luck would be at this point?
Yeah, that's
Andrew Luck would be so good.
what
at
a
this
what a
point.
wild move by him. I mean, can you blame him though? I guess
Nah,
it is what it is.
He got his bag. They let him keep his money. They didn't ask for money back.
Oh,
They let him
okay.
keep his money. Or say let him keep his money.
Fuck that.
But, like-
I would have took all his bread.
Yeah, give me that bread back, bro.
Yeah.
But I like randomly will just sit there and be like, damn, Andrew Luck would be so good. But he also set the Colts back so far.
So
Think
far.
about it. They went from Brissett, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, draft Anthony Richardson. He's hurt. Gardner Minshew. All because Andrew Luck decided to retire.
Yeah. And that brings up that just brought up something for me too. It's like, and we had this conversation in our group chat last night. It's like you look around the league, it's like there's so many like teams that need a quarterback.
Dude, I can't.
And to draft a guy like Andrew Luck and for him to just like
He just dipped.
handcuffed you.
Yeah,
Like,
he screwed them.
That's sad.
All these years later, they finally got Anthony Richardson, who is like they think is going to be the future for them. But
I think he'll be good. He looked good in
yeah.
his first
I mean, the
couple
Colts are
starts.
pretty good. I mean, they're not bad. But if they had Andrew Luck, like think about where Andrew Luck was then. I think he only played like 4 years or 5 years into it.
Something like that.
He'd be in year like 10 by now, which is crazy. We're dumb old. He'd probably be
Yeah, he's
amazing.
flying by.
Crazy. Who else?
He's
What
crazy.
other random shit can we think of?
I don't know.
That was a memory. That started with fantasy football memory lane.
It did all start with
I wonder
fantasy
who-
football, though.
This is a question for the people out there. Who is your fantasy football? Who triggers your fantasy football memory lane?
That's a good question.
For me, it's Calvin Johnson and Fred Jackson and Matt Forte. Those guys
Ooh,
were great.
Who's mine?
Then remember when Kamara came on the scene? Kamara came on
Yeah.
the scene, was just balling.
Yeah.
Him and Ingram.
Who's my fantasy?
Jimmy Graham,
who's
too.
my favorite
Jimmy Graham
fantasy
was a
football player?
freaking dog.
So I don't know if he's my favorite, but this was the year going back, like talking about your high school league
Yeah.
and like how it's important. You have a trophy, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And, like we had one, and like the first year I won that league, It was either my freshman or sophomore year of college, but it was that year I had Cam Newton.
Okay, Cam Newton's a great
And they
fantasy
play.
memory.
I remember this religiously. It was like the championship week, and they played the Giants, and he shitted on them, dude. Like he probably had like 55 points at the quarterback position.
Dude, young Cam Newton was awesome.
You know what I mean?
He's a
So,
great
like,
memory. With
Cam
Steve
will
Smith.
be-
With Steve Smith.
Yeah,
Like, that was so fun. Steve Smith
Cam Newton will. That's probably my fantasy goat, just because he won me a fantasy
All right,
championship.
here's a good question for you. Who was opposite of Steve Smith on the Panthers when they beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship?
Wide receiver.
Who was the quarterback?
Oh, who was the quarterback?
We'll go wide receiver.
Oh,
too.
Jake Delhomme, right?
Jake Delhomme.
Remember
who
that.
was the number 2 receiver?
Steve Smith was on that team. Back in
Yeah,
the
bro.
day?
Steve Smith old.
Who was the other wide receiver?
Not funny name, but long name.
Damn, man. Is there a hint in there here somewhere or no?
No, I don't have a hint.
No names really coming to mind.
Muhsin Muhammad.
Ah, Muhsin Muhammad. Damn.
Yeah.
I would never
Muhsin
would have guessed that, but I remember Muhsin
Yeah.
Muhammad. That's a good pull.
Yeah, he was a good pull. I got
What was
great.
that 2005?
I don't know. I just remember me and Jake crying when the Eagles lost. I was
I
like 11.
cried when they lost to the Saints. I was at
Wait, like 2 years ago or 3 years
no
ago?
the Reggie Bush year
okay.
when he got smacked. I remember came home. It was me, my dad, my sister, my stepmom. We were at a family friend party watching it, and came home and I was bawling my eyes
Yeah,
out.
dude. You know, it's different when betting's changed everything for me, honestly.
It's changed a lot of like
My
the
emotions.
true emotion
Yeah,
in the game.
my true emotion.
For sure.
Like, I used to, and I still love the Eagles. I want them to win, but like last night, like I would have rather my bets won last night.
Yeah,
Got to a certain point where the Eagles were gonna lose. Like, just let my bets win.
like the Super Bowl loss. Like obviously, I was pissed because I had money on the. Like I was more pissed that I lost money than I did the Eagles losing it.
Oh, that one's
And that's like, and that
that's
should
like a
never
rare-
be the, that should
yeah.
never that should never be the case.
Yeah, that's a rare one though. I mean, I lost money on the Eagles, but I was going down with the ship.
Yeah.
Like, I was on the team at that point essentially. Like, if I'm losing my money. I'm losing
Yeah.
with the team. A regular season game gets to a point where if we're gonna lose, like, just let my bets win.
Yeah,
But as a kid, I like
you just want him to win the fucking.
I just wanted to
game.
win every game.
Yeah,
Every game, and Monday sucked when they lost. Now it's like since we won the Super Bowl, it's a little different.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. It might be the betting. It might
It's
be
the betting, 1,000%.
I think it's the betting.
100%.
I think it's the betting. But I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that feel the same way about their team, you know, and betting. Like when you're a kid, the emotions with your team winning are just so different than your team winning now with your bets on the line.
100%.
And the people that don't bet still have those emotions, which is crazy. Like people who are all invested in their team and can't even wake up Monday morning if they lose Sunday.
Yeah.
They don't bet, so they
Those-
still have
those
those
were the
emotions
days,
that we had when we
man.
were kids.
Those were the days.
Those were the days, man.
Ugh.
Big Mom, leave me alone. The Eagles lost. Or like, Dad, what do you think went wrong with the Eagles? Like, and he knew, and now he's trying to tell me what went wrong with the Eagles. I'm like, dude, that's not what went wrong with the Eagles.
Yeah.
They
Like-
went wrong because they fucking didn't run the ball, and my bets
Dude.
didn't win. I had the over rushing yards.
Yeah,
Like, I was
and-
focused on that sector of the game.
Yeah, and Mark brought up a good point too. Like he brought up, remember the snow game you guys were at?
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
was
so
there
fun.
too, but it was before I even knew you guys.
Yeah, that was a great game. The snow game.
Where were you sitting? I meant to ask you guys
Bro,
that.
our boy has season tickets, so I was sitting first.
Oh,
first
were you in Nikki seats?
Yeah, I was first row suite level.
So you were outside though.
But we could go inside. We could go in. We could go inside, but we couldn't
Really?
see the game inside.
I've
We had
sat
to
in
watch
those
on TV.
seats. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. But I'm saying, okay, so
Yeah, we were outside.
right.
it
But I'm
wasn't even
saying
snowing when I got there.
during that, right. But I'm saying, did you find yourself mostly
I
standing
was outside. I was
outside?
outside
it
the
was
whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was three
Our
feet
friend's
of snow.
dad had to give me gloves because
Like-
I just didn't bring. I didn't come. It wasn't supposed to snow.
My stepmom at the time was working at the NovaCare Center, so obviously she would get tickets, and we were in the box.
Oh,
so like I had a T-shirt on, like I was
Yeah.
warm. Like
You know, I was
but
at-
look at that.
That's-
Dude, that snow game was.
I was at
crazy.
two of the wildest Eagles games temperature wise. I was at the hottest game at Lincoln Financial Field ever. That was when Jake Elliott hit the 61-yarder.
I'd rather be in the snow.
So that was when Jake Elliott hit the 61-yarder to beat the Giants Super Bowl year. That was like his first game with the Eagles too. And
Oh yeah, that kick was crazy.
we were gonna leave. We were that hot. It felt like it was 105,
Yeah.
and we were high up. We were gonna leave. It was that hot. We went inside to chill, and then we were like, because it was AC inside, we went back outside, and then I was at the Snow Bowl or whatever the hell it's called.
No, like yeah.
All right, now that this construction's about to get bad, we got to wrap it up.
Probably cut it.
All right, that was episode 5 or 6.
Listen,
of Lounge
Eagles,
Talk.
figure it the fuck out,
Figure
man.
it the fuck out, Eagles. We need you.
Stop getting blown
This
out.
shit's shaking. All right,
Stay in teams.
love you guys.
Stay in
See ya.
games.
This shit's about to start shaking.
Bye, guys.